babe, wait, give a little whiff down there. I've got something delicious for you. They're going to be like going down and be like, oh my gosh, why does her smell like pumpkin pie? Babe. Welcome back. It's your host, Hallismmith, for another episode of Girl Core. I recently joined a new gym and I'm super excited because they have a special room just for the ladies. So you don't get scared. There's no men that can lurk and stare or just have that weird social anxiety in the gym. Even if they're being completely normal, I'm still like, are you looking at me? Are you being weird? Are you watching me bend over and do my RDLs or my lunges? And I love the idea of a female gym section just for the ladies and not even just like a little corner that everybody else can see, but this is just for the women. No, this gym has a full, they call it the babe cave. It is a full separate room and space that you can't see into just for the women. I've been calling it the 𝙄𝙧𝙧𝙧 Palace, the Coochie Cave, just because I think that's a really funny name for it. I was actually listening to that new song by Lily Allen called 𝙄𝙧 Palace, and I was listening to it at the gym. I thought it was a dojo, but it was a 𝙄𝙧 Palace. Yeah, that one hit perfectly, but I've been loving it. I honestly find it really nice. I honestly just get embarrassed in front of guys because I feel like there's just so much testosterone in the room. I don't know what I'm doing all the time at the gym. Like, I like just do my little lunges, do my RDLs, and something about just like men being around there just makes me a little uncomfortable. I'm just putting myself in some poses and it's really funny. I find it such an interesting bounce because I have no problem being a bop and showing myself online and even being out in public and making TikToks. But for some reason, the only time I get anxious is at the gym. And that's around anybody, even the women, even in the babe cave, they have a new type of squat rack, but it's not a regular one. It's like one of those ones that, what do you call it? There's like a name for it, but it has a machine. So it just like lifts up and down for you. And I don't know how to use it. And I was like getting super nervous because I was like, I don't even know how to set this up. This isn't like the normal squat rack where you just take the barbell off. It's called the Smith machine. Yeah. Okay. My last name and I can't even remember it. Yeah. It's called the Smith machine, I believe, like the Smith squat rack. So it moves up and down with you. And I don't exactly know how to set that up. So I was too embarrassed to figure it out in front of everybody, all the women. So I was just like, screw it. I'm not doing squats today. I'm just going to do lunges again. Something about the gym just makes me anxious. I always talk about that with my friends because they're like, oh, I hate going to the gym. I like to go with a friend because anytime I go with another person, I just feel less embarrassed. I'll go mess around and figure out how to use that machine because I have my bestie with me. But by myself, I'm super anxious and I'm like, no, thank you. This week, I was doing my lunges and something started to feel kind of good. And I feel like people are going to be like, you're really weird for saying this. I do not relate to you. But I bet so many women low-key relate. And that is when you're working out and you're wearing a thong, okay? And sometimes the thong starts to rub nicely on your kitty cat or even on your back door. And it starts to hit that itch and it's rubbing a little nicely. Well, I was doing my lunges and my thong was kind of sliding back and forth and it kind of felt good. It felt good. I'm not going to lie. For a second, I was like, oh, okay. It's kind of like, I don't know, ladies, when you sit on your heel, kind of like I am right now, crisscross applesauce. And you kind of sit on something, you kind of like, oh, I kind of rubbed it the right way. I feel like a cat who's scratching his ass on the rug. Like I have a dog and he needs to get his glands expressed and he's rubbing his ass on the carpet. That's how I feel as a woman sometimes when I hit that little heel on the kitty and I'm like, oh, that's the spot. Well, that's me at the gym. Sometimes, ladies, the thong rubs just in the right place. And it was hitting all the right spots. I also was thinking about when I first got a thong. Do you guys remember back in school? It was probably like middle school, high school when girls started wearing thongs and like it was like a super big deal. Like, OMG guys, do you see Jessica over there? Jessica's wearing a thong. Her mom let her buy thongs. And I remember there was this one girl. I feel secondhand embarrassment for this girl, this poor girl. This probably keeps her awake at night. I remember hearing about it and my friend telling me. And at the time we were like, okay, we understand, a little embarrassing, but it happens. But now as an adult, I'm like, oof, I know this keeps that girl up at night. So one time, like, you know, we're all talking about thongs and things. I was still wearing I wore like these little boxer shorts. I don't know if any other girl wore those, but they're like these like, boxer underwear. They're a little more comfortable. They're like briefs, but for girls. Anyways, I was wearing that at the time and maybe the occasional regular triangle underwear. But everybody started wearing thongs and it was becoming more popular. So all the girls, we were like, we need to get a thong. And one of the girls, her parents would not let her wear them. Honestly, mine didn't really care. I had older sisters, so they were like, wear whatever you want. Like, that's not my business. Like, if you want to wear a thong, go wear a thong. I would just steal my sister's thongs and wear them. I wouldn't tell them. I would just find a really cute thong and then I'd be like, this is mine. And I didn't even have to ask my parents because I could just go to my sister's bedroom, take her shit, and then I was good to go. So I would just steal my older sister's thongs. But One of my friends, she did not have older sisters, and her parents were super strict and didn't let her wear thongs, but she wanted to be cool because everybody was wearing a thong. So one day, my friend tells me, my very close best friend at the time, she's like, Hallie, I was in the bathroom, changing for gym with blah, blah, blah. And she was like, OMG, do you want to see my new thong? And my friend was like, I guess, okay, show me your thong. And she's like, Hallie, she showed me her thong. It was not a thong. It was her regular underwear that she had scrunched up and made it look like a thong and kind of put it up her bum to make it look like a thong. And she's like, she showed me and she's like, do you like my new thong? And my friend was like, I didn't want to be mean, but I was like, what the hell? This is really weird. And she's like, I didn't know what to say. So I was like, yeah, it's cute. And she's like, but it was clearly just her underwear that she scrunched up and just put up her bum to make it look like a thong. And I was like, we were both just we laughed a little bit. We're like, oh my gosh, that sucks. Because we knew she had super strict parents and they wouldn't let her. It was really weird that she wanted to show our friend so badly and show she had it. We never did anything or said anything because we were like, well, we understand the situation. That's that. But I still to this day think about that. We felt so much pressure. This poor girl felt so much pressure to wear a thong because everybody else was. She faked it and showed it to my friend. I'm like, girly pop, it did backfire because you could clearly tell. It's like, I don't know, when you're wearing your granny's panties and they get a little stuck up the bottom. They're still granny panties. You can clearly see that. They're just a little bit of a wedgie. So she pretty much just gave herself a wedgie with her underpants to make it look like a thong. And me and my friend were like, damn, that's awkward. It was just a really weird, odd situation that my friend went through. And I remember actually being like, shit, every girl remembers when they first got a thong or asked for one or wanted to wear one. I've heard so many funny stories about girls going to the store and stealing some or going to Victoria's Secrets and secretly buying one and then hiding it from their mom, or they get caught because their mom does the laundry and finds the thong. Why were thongs such contraband? It's honestly not a big deal. People over sexualizing young girls. If she wants to wear a thong, whatever. It's not a big deal. It's part of growing up and coming of age. I hope that most adults can see that. If you're making a big deal out of it, you're the one being weird. Parents are like, oh, you're too young for this. You don't need to be sexualizing. What are you trying to do? Your child's most likely not trying to do anything. Your child just wants to feel cool among the other girls. And instead of having to wedgie her underwear to make it look like a thong, just buy her the freaking underwear to feel confidence. And I feel like that's something that really upsets me because parents don't want to give their young children makeup or, thongs or these adult women things because they're just like, you have bad intentions. You're trying to go and be with boys or you're trying to do these things. Most of the time, it's just about self-confidence and honestly not getting bullied by girls that you go to school with. Yes, there are going to be girls that wear whatever they want. Their parents don't care. They let them wear all this makeup, wear thongs at a younger age. But the problem is for the other girls, they get bullied because they can't. And I get it. You don't want your daughter, a young girl walking out with a full face of makeup when she's 10 years old. But I think it's okay to wear a little bit of mascara and blush, keeping it light and natural. Even then, I think it's okay for young girls to play around with makeup and do pink eyeshadow or blue eyeshadow because at the end of the day, it's just self-expression. That's something that I feel parents forget about, and it becomes a shitty thing. And then your daughter gets bullied at school because they can't do these things, when in actuality, it's not about her wanting to go show off for guys. It's her wanting to show off for the girls. And it's just coming of age. Speaking of thongs, Thanksgiving is just around the corner. And if you're in America, most people are going to be celebrating this upcoming week. If you're in Europe, I don't know, host a Friendsgiving. If you don't even have the tradition of, Thanksgiving because it is an American holiday, still do it. It's honestly just fun. I like to think of Thanksgiving. Obviously, in this day and age, Thanksgiving has a lot of bad things behind it. And the actual core of Thanksgiving is not good, but to me it's just a potluck to get with friends, family, that type of thing. It's more of just I think of it as a friend's day, a family day, not Thanksgiving, but it is a day to be with your friends and family. But it's also the sluttiest holiday of the year. People are like, oh no, it's Halloween. No, it's not, baby. It's Thanksgiving. You know why? Because people end up back in their hometowns. They're bored. They don't know what to do. It's one of those holidays where there's actually not that much to do. The main day of Thanksgiving is just football, parades, and food. It's not like Christmas where you've got Christmas Eve and then actual Christmas Day and you have a lot of plans. Thanksgiving, you're kind of just home and bored and there's not much to do. So what do you do besides go to your hometown bar or message your old ex or message people that you haven't seen in a while because maybe you went to college and now you're hotter and you know more in the bedroom and you're like, I've been listening to Pink Water Bottle Girl. That's for the single people. Okay, single people are coming back home lonely, bored, or horny. The people that have been dating, if cuffing season picked you up and you started dating in October or beginning of, whatever, November, Actually, Thanksgiving is usually the first holiday that people bring their new partner home. So you just got a new boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. This is the season. This is the first day that you're going to bring them back and meet the family. This is their first holiday together. So it's kind of a big day for that too, because it's the trial period. If you just started dating somebody, Thanksgiving is your trial run, okay? This is gonna see if you can make it to Christmas and New Year's, because if you can sit down with my family for Thanksgiving, you can handle the rest of it. But this is also like, it's kind of a test, okay? So remember, ladies, gentlemen, they, them, when you are going home to meet somebody's parents this Thanksgiving, you are being tested, okay? This is a test if you can make the big one, the big Christmas, the Hanukkah, okay? These is the trial run. You need to be on your best behavior. Or if you are on the other spectrum where you do not get along with your family, or you don't have a really close family dynamic, and this is just going to be you going out with your friends on Thanksgiving and just, having a little potluck, or maybe you're by yourself. Do remember, Thanksgiving is also a lonely holiday. That sounds like sad, but it's actually not. As somebody who worked in the restaurant industry for years, it's actually one of our busiest nights. Like, the restaurant, obviously everybody comes in to eat if they don't want to cook at home, but also lots of single people come in, they sit at the bar, they have a drink, they reflect. So if you are trying to get some, if you're by yourself, if you're single, or even you and your friends just want to go out, Thanksgiving is actually a good holiday to go out on. It's actually bumping. Actually, lots of places are super busy. It's a win-win situation all around. We were talking about thongs earlier. I saw the craziest damn thing. I was in a little spicy store, okay, a little naughty store. I saw pumpkin pie scented undies, a pumpkin pie thong. You can buy for your partner this holiday season a pumpkin pie thong. That way, when they're about to slip them off, you're gonna be like, "Hey, babe, wait, give a little whiff down there. I've got something delicious for you." They're gonna be like going down and be like, "Oh my gosh, why does her smell like pumpkin pie? Babe, that's just my pumpkin pie scented undies. It's sweet and delicious, just like my cat. And I want you to, pumpkin pie, pumpkin. I want you to pumpkin in my pie. I want your whipped cream on top of my pumpkin pie." There are so many. Now I'm just saying shit. But you want them to fill you up with their whipped cream, with their gravy sauce, with your pumpkin pie scented undies. People always say, "I was born in the wrong time." Baby, I wasn't. I was meant to be born in the time where there are pumpkin pie scented thongs, because I want him to come pin in my pie tonight. No, I'm sorry. There are so many naughty, spicy innuendos I can make for Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna keep going. This isn't it. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning, baby, because next I want you to stuff my turkey, okay? We need to talk about stuffing turkeys. I hear a lot of things about people saying that their turkey is too big for some stuffing. They're saying my turkey doesn't need a little bit of protection because it's just too big. And by that, ladies, if you're like, "Please shut up with the Thanksgiving innuendos," I will stop. I'm sorry. For now. I'm hearing too many people online being like, "Babe, what do I do? Like, my partner has a really big cucumber and he says he can't wear protection because it's just too big. They don't make one for him." Babe, he is a liar. Condoms are like Brandy Melville. Everything is one size fits all. He can fit his thing in protection. I promise you, he is not that big. It will fit. He's just using an excuse because he just wants to stuff your turkey raw, okay? He wants to put his gravy inside you, and he doesn't want to wear protection. Instead of having an adult conversation, just asking like, "Hey, babe, can we just do this without protection? We can both get tested. We are both in a closed relationship." He can do some negotiating to find a middle ground. Instead, he's trying to take the little bitch route. Instead of being an adult and having a mature conversation, he's just using an excuse saying, "Oh, it's too small." There is no way. I make a joke about Brandy Melville, but as we know, it is not one size fits all at Brandy Melville. I actually just got shamed. I went to buy a pair of leggings, and I myself, ladies, I'm a thin person. I wouldn't say I have a lot of curves. I'm not known for being a BBL baddie. I'm not really that big of a thick person, and I went to buy these leggings. Babe, they were too small. They were too freaking small. I couldn't get my legs through. I had to go return this pair of cute leggings because I was like, I can't even fit this. I've never had that happen. I was like, Brandy Melville is somehow making the sizes even smaller. I wear like a size 2 to a 4, which is a range. But ladies, if you know women's sizing, you're like, I'm between like a 4 and a 6, a 4 and an 8, because every store is different. But Brandy Melville, typically I used to fit. So it's not always one size fits all, but that is not the case when it comes to protection. There are sizes for every guy. They have extra large ones, they have small ones, but most of the time it's one size fits all. There's definitely something that he can wear. If he's saying, "I can't use protection because I'm too big," no, he's not. No, he's not. Have you seen those videos where they get like and they turn it into a water balloon? or blow air into it and it expands to the size of a freaking, I don't know, football. Yeah, he can fit it, okay? He's just being a little bitch, okay? He's just trying to lie, and instead of being a mature adult and having a conversation, he is just trying to coerce you and find a trick and a loophole into it. And we don't like that because it is fun. It is fun to hit it raw, but you want to, have an adult conversation with somebody, not somebody who's acting immature and being like, I just can't because I can't. Because no, like instead of just being like, hey, babe, can we do this? Like, don't fall for that. If your man has been a good boy this Thanksgiving, he has earned that gobble gobble on his pink water bottle. I've got a special trick for you to add in. I get so many questions on girls being like, what else can I do in missionary besides just lay there like a freaking starfish? I've got you. It's all in the hands, baby. It's all in the magic fingers. Okay, you see this? Now you don't. No, you want to incorporate your hands. Something amazing that is literally going to rock his world because I promise you no woman has probably done this. Okay, you're laying flat. He's above you. I know this is going to spook him because he's like, oh, what are you doing back there, ma'am? Get your hand away from my bum. You are actually just going to reach under and you're going to fondle those tennis balls. When he's giving it to you good above you, okay, boom, 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 in missionary, you're going to reach your hand in between and you're going to fondle the tennis balls. Do a light little pull, a light little grazing and tickling with your fingers while he's hitting it in missionary. So pretty much like he's going to be inside your kitty cat. And at the same time, you're just going to hook your arm around and be fondling them from behind. So he's right here, but your hand's back here doing all the work. And babe, you're like, what? I don't get that. Trust me, you will. Because usually you can see like this little gap in between their legs, okay, where he's working it and your legs are up in the air. And you're just going to slip your little hand back there and give it a little uh-huh. And this one is great because the closer he comes, like when you guys are literally face to face, that is when his body is closest to you. That is also when it's easiest to reach and also at the same time, give a little fondle. Now, this is when he's doing like nice, slow, steady, okay, in and out, P in the V. If he's going fast, it's going to be a little bit tricky for you at the same time to be like grabbing the tennis balls or else you're going to be like yanking them and you don't want to yank the tennis balls, okay? No matter what, even if he loves him some tennis ball play, they are still sensitive. So you want to be gentle. This is when he's doing some nice, soft, little sensual in and out, okay? This is not rapid thrusting bunny. This is for gentle, calm, steady, warm-up thrust, okay? But no, give his tennis balls some more love. There are so many ways to incorporate a man's tennis balls and they get forgotten. Most people think it's only when you're giving brain on their pink water bottle, you're okay, but no, it's for all the time. It's for when they're inside the kitty cat. It's for when they're on top of you. It's all around, even if you're riding them. I was on a podcast called Inside OF and they did a really good segment and they asked me, what are my riding tips? I was like, ladies, when you're up there riding it, reach your hand behind you, arch your back so that the girlies are looking hot, and at the same time be fondling their tennis balls. They will love it and finish so much quicker because it's two forms of stimulation at once. It's just like when a guy is giving you that good tongue and finger combo. When a girl is milking their tennis balls and he is also getting some action, a little jerky on his pink water bottle, or maybe he's inside of you at the same time, they are going to explode, okay? They are going to shoot all over the place. Their gravy is going to be coming. I'm sorry, I'm still going with the Thanksgiving terminologies. No, but literally add the tennis balls into all different positions. They can be incorporated. If you want to see your man be done in less than 3 minutes, add his tennis balls and he will see the stars. Now, something else we need to talk about. You're like, Hallie, I've seen this thing next to you. What is this? Yeah, this is my whip. You see this? I love this whip. I actually just got this new whip. I haven't even used it yet. I honestly just bought it because I liked that it was like pinky and rose gold. And as you can tell from my entire outfit and background, I really love the color pink. So this little pink whip, I was like, I need it. But we need to talk about whips and more especially spanking in the bedroom. Something that people think is just regular everyday fun, but it actually is a rougher, kinkier thing. And it's not just something you just do. Never just slap somebody in the bedroom, even if it's on their, on their bum, on their face especially, but anywhere in the bedroom. You should ask somebody. It's just like spitting or choking. People think like, oh, it's completely normal. Everybody does it. No, babe. It's actually a little bit of a rougher, kinkier thing. And even though it is very normalized nowadays in society and we make jokes about spanking and choking, it actually is something that should always be asked and talked about beforehand, especially if you're using something like this, which is a lot more intense, but even if it's just your good old-fashioned hand. But let's talk about it because I love a good little spanking, okay? I've been a bad girl and I need a little slap on the hand. But it's really about you and your partner having a conversation beforehand on what level of a spank do we want, because there's different levels. There's a really buff, or there's a little love tap, there's a little smack, there's a little tap tap, and then there's a really intense, that's gonna leave a mark. But that's kind of hot when you guys have talked about it and you both enjoy it and you've had that conversation. But it is a conversation you should be having. It's not just something you do. One of my friends was going to Pound Town with a guy, and he was, they were in missionary, so she was lying on her back, he was above her, boom, 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 out of nowhere just starts slapping the shit out of her tatas. Slap, slap. And she was so stunned, she didn't even know what to say. She was like, I did not like it, but I was super uncomfortable. I didn't know what to say. It just kind of shocked me. I kind of just let it happen. And she felt bad and weird, and also just like, this was funny, but it wasn't funny. It was just a really weird, complex situation that she got put in. Luckily for her, she had bigger girlies, so they weren't as sensitive, because if you slap my tata out of nowhere, you're gonna get slapped in the face too, and you're not gonna like it, because I do not like that out of nowhere, and I have more sensitive girlies. If you're gonna be doing something super intense, I would like a heads up and maybe a, hey, can I do this? It's something you should ask about, especially guys love to be in the position of, woof woof doggy. They like to give a little slap on the cheeks. And yes, that is normal, but it should also be asked about, because you want to just ask your partner, how sensitive are they? Some people are very sensitive, and a little tap is going to feel way more intense for them. Some people don't, and they can take a good boom. They can take a good slap right there, okay? But it's something you talk about with your partner. And I literally have this conversation, and I'm like, okay, what about this? And I'm like, show them your arm, and be like, this is a good tap. This, no, that's too much. This, that's good. Show your arm, have them slap your arm, find a pace that works for you, because if it's too intense, it's not going to be fun. There's multiple places that you can also be giving a little spank to. We have the face. Some people really love a good little face in the middle of the bedroom. Sometimes girls like that when they're giving brain. Sometimes I'll take his pink water bottle and slap it on the cheek. But there's a lot of different variations. You can also slap on the backside, okay? On the bum. We know a classic little from behind, boom, boom. Or even on your kitty cat. Some ladies like a little tap, tap on there. Guys as well. Sometimes they like to slap it, on your face, or things like on your girlies. But there's different speeds and tempos and times that you should be doing it. Because when a guy is fully up, his pink water bottle is at full speed, that's usually actually more sensitive, so you don't want to slap it too much. But when he's a little bit medium, he's still getting up, that's a perfect time. Same time for ladies. Your kitty is super sensitive. Once you're really turned on and all that blood is rushing, your cat is super sensitive. So the best time to give a little spanking on your kitty cat is actually when you're still getting turned on and still warming up, because that's going to help it get more blood flow. You can add more spanking. If you're somebody that takes a little bit longer to get turned on, spanking is really nice because it helps get the blood flow going quicker to your kitty cat. So have him give a little tap tap on her actually feels really good. And then there's so many fun positions that you can actually incorporate spanking. I mean, people always think of just a classic spank when you guys are going to Pound Town. He's hitting it from behind. He gives a little on that thun. But you can actually do it when you guys are straddling. When you're up top riding him, he can from behind be giving a little pat on your bum, or maybe if you lean over the bed and he's also doing that, you guys can do it when you lean over the bed, on the couch, on a chair. And even hotter, ladies, okay, this is freaky, but it's not too freaky, but it feels really good, when you lay over his knee. If a man is sitting on the edge of the bed or a chair, you're gonna lay across him like this, and your bum is gonna be right here. He is just gonna boom, boom, boom on your cheeks, or even on your kitty cat. It feels so hot. And also, he has two hands, okay? He has two hands. One can be rubbing your cat, give a little action, a little DJ set on the kitty, and the other one can give a little pow pow, a little slap slap on on your cheeks. So this is a really good pose because all of your kitty cat is just in his face. And there's also lots of fun tools you can incorporate into giving a little love tap to your partner. But they also have paddles, which are just like a flat little pow pow to give you that little love mark. Or you can use something in your bedroom if you don't want to use your hand, but you still want you and your partner to use a toy and give you a little love tap. You can use a belt. You can use a tie. You can use a scarf. Like, there's lots of DIY at home things that you can use to give your partner a little love spank. Or you can go to the store and buy something like this. You can buy a paddle. There are so many different versions. You can find what makes you just go, ooh la la. With anything in the bedroom, it should always be discussed beforehand. We have normalized it, but it is something you need to discuss. All right, guys, it's that time of the episode, Q&A time. Hey babe, I've been dating this guy for 4 months, and 2 weeks ago we went to Pound Town. We broke up yesterday, and I really tried to fight for it, but he would not. Do you have any advice? Okay, first things first, if you don't want to chase a guy, if somebody doesn't want you, let it go. And that's for anything in life. If you have to chase something and you have to really go after it, and it keeps saying, no, 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 I do not want you, I do not like you. Honestly, you just need to let it go because you never know what you are fighting and clawing on to. Like, you just desperately in this moment, all you can see right now is just what's in front of you. This relationship, you want it so bad, but you don't know why. You don't know the big grand scheme. Maybe the perfect partner for you is literally just a month ahead of you. But if you just let go of this, you can make room for something new. This perfect thing that the universe wants you to have, that wants you so badly, that desires you so badly. And I know this is hard to say because trust me, I've been there. I've been down bad for somebody who doesn't want me back. It happens to all of us. But you have to realize that there is somebody else out there who is going to want you, crave you, devour you, and do anything to have you. And you shouldn't have to fight for something like that. You shouldn't have to tell somebody why they should like you or teach somebody how to want you or how to like you and love you how you should be loved. It is a complicated situation because it seems like you guys kind of went to Pound Town pretty recently. You were dating for a good bit before, and then they dropped shortly after. It does make me doubt the person even more, which makes me say, girl, run away from this red flag. Because to me, my first thought is, okay, it seems like I don't know why. I didn't get much detail on, why you guys have gone to Pound Town. It kind of seems like right after, it seems like the breakup came. I wonder, did he kind of do that on purpose? Was the guy just waiting to, crack and then kind of move on? Was that kind of all he was after in a relationship? And I know I hate to say this because this is going to make, you don't want to spiral and be like, was I just being used? But it does make me a little bit suspicious of his motives, of why he so shortly after you guys did this, which it does hurt. Like, it does hurt to know somebody that you let yourself be vulnerable. You let yourself, like and care about this person. And then just to find out maybe it was just the physical that they wanted. It's hard in a relationship if things ended, but it wasn't exactly bad. They didn't cheat. They didn't do anything like in that sense. But it seems like he did have weird motives just from hearing that. That should help you move on because this is not somebody you want. If this is somebody who would hurt somebody like that and use them in this way and then just drop you because of that, that is something that really lets you know who they are as a person and to move on from. I hope that's not true. I hope it was just like something else situationally, like whatever the reason is for the breakup, like maybe they're just not there emotionally or like, maybe they have something else going on in their life and they were like, I can't do this anymore. Purely they just felt like this just wasn't working for them. I hope it was just that and nothing else, but it does make me suspicious. And I think that should help you to be a little suspicious of their character and of their motives and who they are as a person. You don't want that in your life. And especially this, if it is meant to come back into your life, if this relationship is for you, it will come back. But also, if they do try to come back in your life, be weary of why. Do you start to get a glow up after this breakup? Do you start to look and feel really good physically, emotionally, and they see you glowing? Or you get the perfect job and everything's working for you and now they want back into your life? Suspicious. Once again, red flag. Are they just coming back into your life because now she's a shiny new object? Now she's doing good. Now I want to be with her. I didn't want to be with her when she was still grinding and working hard and working on herself. I want her just as the finished product. I would be suspicious when a guy comes back into your life after you've gotten your glow up or after you feel better about yourself. Be suspicious, but hopefully you can move on because it seems like this guy is not worth your time. Next question. Hey girlie, I've been watching your podcast, but I really need to know what to do because I want to be crazy and give my man the best brain ever. When I think about it, in my head, I am a corn star, but in actuality, I get super nervous and just awkward when I'm in the moment. And I don't know what to do because I'm a little bit shy and I don't know how to bring out that side of myself. Oh, this is like such a problem like with girls because in our head, like when guys are like, oh, she was texting me all this, and then in person, she was just like, okay, that is just because it's really hard to be vulnerable in front of a guy. To show this freaky side of yourself, it takes the right person to want to open up to. Even if you and your partner have been seeing each other for a while, you've been dating, or you're in a long-term relationship and you're like, I really love them. I know they love me. I feel very comfortable and safe with them, but I still just can't get my freaky personality to come out in front of them. It's probably just like one of those little things that you're a little bit scared of rejection. Like you're scared that if you're too freaky, they're gonna be like weirded out by it. Like, oh, like, where'd that come from? But trust me, they will not. If you are like, I give brain, and I'm like, no, I'm doing it, and then out of nowhere, you're like, ah, I'm freaking, boom, boom, boom. I will literally suffocate if I don't have his D in my mouth. Like his D is my air. I need to breathe it. I need to devour it. I need to, have every inch of it. He's gonna be like, oh, that is super hot. He's gonna be so turned on. But obviously, for women, we get in our head where we're like, okay, if I'm too freaky, he's gonna think I'm weird. He's gonna think I'm a bop. He's gonna think all these things. Trust me, he will not. Okay, if you're in a relationship with a guy and you're like, I'm a freak, but I feel like my freaky side is not coming off how I want it to, you just need to let go of that fear that he's going to reject it or be weirded out by it. Most of the time, everybody has intense fantasies and intense desires that they're sometimes scared to bring out. A really good stepping stone to get you to be freakier in the bedroom, because you're like, yes, I have this in my head. I want to do these things. I like these things, but I'm still awkward with my partner, is to talk about your intimacy outside of the bedroom more often. So you guys are watching a movie and you see somebody doing some spicy position or something in the car or some spicy location. Say to your partner, like, OMG, that would be really hot to try. Or we should try that pose. Or that looks really hot. Like she's being blindfolded. I think that would be so hot to do. Bringing it up in like those little natural settings kind of opens the door to a bigger conversation where he's like, oh, you like being blindfolded? Is that something you'd be into? Like, would you like being blindfolded? And then it kind of turns into like this fun back and forth conversation instead of just being like awkward when some, spicy scene shows up in a movie or a TV show and you're just like quiet and kind of looking like, okay, I'm gonna go get a snack. Do you want something? Instead, take it as an opportunity to talk about it with your partner. What do you like about that? What do you not like? Like, oof, that's too intense. I couldn't do that. It's hot, but too much for me. This is the perfect time. And at other times, if you do just want to bring up spicy things, I love to do it when you're outside the bedroom, even outside your house. Like outside of a setting that you're in all the time is a great place to have these discussions. That way you don't have that energy lingering in your bedroom, in your personal space. I believe in the hooey wooey and energy. And so I don't want that awkward or bad or just like anxious anxiety lingering in my common space, and especially in my bedroom where it's supposed to be a place of relaxation and peace and sensuality. So do it when you guys are out to lunch, out to dinner, and you could just be like, hey, remember last time when we were doing this? It felt so good when you did A, B, and C. I would love if we actually tried it like this next time because that felt so good. I love to bring up, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, but like past experiences, like, hey, when you did this, when we tried this, it felt so good, because it opens people up, because he and you can both understand the situation and relate back to it because you guys were both there, you guys were both in the moment. Or even if you're watching a TV show and maybe you didn't say anything then, but you could be like, hey, we were watching that show yesterday and the girl and the guy were doing this and this. I would love to try that. Did you think it was kind of hot? Yeah, it was. But it brings it up in a nice casual sense and it doesn't bring up the same fear. Why this makes you freakier and how this is going to turn you into that corn star energy that you're imagining is because you're getting more and more comfortable talking and discussing with your partner. And it kind of breaks down that invisible wall that you guys have towards intimacy. Because even if you guys have great intimacy, you guys are going to pound town, but still most couples don't talk in depth about their intimacy. Once you start doing that, it's going to open the floodgates. You're going to find it just becomes easier and easier. Just like that, show your partner one of my TikToks and be like, dude, this crazy ass girl said this, but I think it's kind of hot to try. Do you want to try this? Like literally things like that is how you conversate and bring up your concerns or your desires in the bedroom. This is for everybody. It doesn't matter, girl, guy, they, them. This is how you do it and get to the next level with your partner, just knowing somebody inside and out. I'm in a long distance relationship and I want to hear your take on how to keep the spicy relationship side alive without it being awkward. And as well, what do you do when you guys see each other for the first time in a long time? Because I don't want it to be awkward once we get back together. If you're in a long distance relationship, you need to keep the spice alive. It is so important. But how do you do it? One of my favorite things to do is send spicy pictures. I've done so many TikToks of different poses and ideas to send spicy pictures, but little things like that. But also when you're in a long distance relationship, you kind of want to keep that unpredictableness, that ooh, when might it happen? When might she send the next spicy picture? Or what might he send to me? So maybe if you're out at work, go to the bathroom and take a quick little picture of your girlies. Or if you're going to bed and you're looking really cute right before you get into the shower, take that little picture, send it to them. One of my favorite things to do is to actually take a photo with live on, that little live setting on the iPhone. You can take the photo and be covered. Like, it'll look like your shirt is on, but then if you quickly pull it up, if he plays the live, it will show you like pulling it up and down to see the girlies. So the photo will look normal. So if he's out with friends, if he's at a boys' night, or he's out to dinner with whatever family, if he sees the photo, it's going to look normal. But if he holds down and plays the live, it will show you, giving him a quick little flash. So that's always a fun one. But keeping that spontaneity alive. Obviously, too, you guys can do FaceTime spiciness. I've done episodes on in-depth, FaceTime, go into Pound Town, but digitally, it's really fun. And honestly, listen back to the episodes. I think it's literally labeled like FaceTime, Pound Town. But there's many ways to do it. It's about keeping that when might the next time happen. Do a little FaceTime, you with your toy, him with his hand, and you guys can have some fun. Spicy voice notes. People forget about voice notes, but voice notes are really hot and spicy. Maybe send one to him in the morning because guys are really horny in the morning. That's when they have the most amount of testosterone. I would send one in the morning being like, I woke up in such a spicy mood and I just need and wish I could have my lips wrapped around your Okay, fill in the blank. But sending something like that out of nowhere in the morning, when he's in bed and sleeping in, send that to him and he's going to wake up or be awake in bed and get so turned on and start wanting to, wank his meat and start thinking about you. And then maybe once he does respond to that message and be like, OMG, that is so hot, what else? Then you can send him a spicy photo or another spicy voice note with a photo or a video and kind of get into it. And then you can even ask him, like, what would you do? Have him send a voice note back to you. I like voice notes because I feel like a FaceTime is a little too much pressure. Like if you're face to face on a FaceTime, it's going to feel performative and make you feel awkward. But with sending photos back and forth and a FaceTime, first of all, it gives you time to think. Okay, ladies, we're not all freaking Shakespeare out here sending spicy texts. It gives you a moment to think instead of being on the spot during a FaceTime, spicy time. And it lets you just, send really cute photos and take your time and enjoy it without the pressure of just looking at each other, like being like, hey, then what? It's a little bit more romantic. It's more fun. But have fun like that in those little ways. Even doing things like that will help you stay nice and spicy. There's honestly not much you can do except for just enjoy each other. But when you do get back to each other for that first meetup, you guys have been away from each other for so long, 6 months, and you're like, oh, I cannot wait, but I'm nervous because I haven't seen them. I'm embarrassed. My confidence, I haven't been around them. Don't worry, baby. Trust me, as somebody who's done long distance before, when you guys see each other, you are just going to want to devour each other immediately. You are going to want to, maybe get a little snack, maybe, get home from the airport, whatever. And then you're just going to want to pounce. There's not going to be an inch of awkwardness. Like, yeah, you might be fumbling for a moment. You're a little bit out of practice. But the desire when you've been gone from each other for so long is stronger than ever. And it shouldn't be a problem. You guys should just fall naturally back into your vibe, back into your desire. And honestly, it's really easy to finish usually on those type of, pound towns because you have so much built up just, I want this so badly. It's really going to be hot and spicy. And just fall into your old things. Like if you do immediately, like they pick you up from the airport and you're in the car, or you guys just see each other and you're going out to grab a snack and you guys just got back together, just try to bring up old memories. Like, do you remember when we were here and this happened? That usually brings people together, like little stories, those tying in like your past connections of just like showing your history kind of breaks the ice. Or like, I have not eaten McDonald's since I was with you last time, remember? Yep, that. Yeah, those little things helps keep the conversation going and reconnect you guys. Or been like, OMG, I have to admit, I've been eating so much McDonald's since you've been gone. Like, I've just been going crazy. It's just been my new comfort food. Talking about things that are in the moment, but still connect them and connect you, that you guys will each find funny. It's a perfect way to reconnect and get rid of that awkwardness in the air, breaking the ice a little bit. Spicy wise, you might be a little bit out of practice, but the desire should be still pretty strong, especially if it's been a while. It shouldn't be an issue in that way. Next question, please help. I really want to mac out, but I feel like my lips have been super dry and are going to mess up my smooching game. I've been on Accutane lately, which makes my lips very, very, very dry, and I'm scared it's going to mess up my game. Please help. I do not want it to hurt if I'm smooching somebody. I have been on Accutane, and yes, it does dry out your lips horribly. I know exactly what to do because as somebody somebody who is on the medication. And even if you're not on Accutane and you just notice your lips are extremely dry, maybe it's the winter, whatever it is, there are some quick fixes. First of all, I swear by the petroleum jelly, okay? The Vaseline, get one of those little tubes. You are going to be smacking that on your lips. Every dermatologist says this is the best. It just hydrates, it helps. It is going to be your best friend. But the next thing that people forget about is actually vitamins and your diet, especially like B2, B12. Those are things that you are usually deficient in and that actually lead to dry lips. So maybe you can go to your doctor, get tested, or you can read up on it. There are many signals and signs of B12 or B2 deficiency, like hair loss and other things, or you're on certain medications that can affect you. But literally, it is so annoying and it happens, okay? But if you want to fix it, use petroleum jelly and check on your vitamin deficiencies, that you're not deficient in one of the B vitamins, because that is super important. And as well, I love a good lip mask. If you have super dry lips, I highly recommend you do a lip face mask, like literally just like a face mask for your face, but it's for your lips. You can buy them anywhere. Walgreens, Sephora, Ulta, CVS, everywhere has one. Buy one of those, get a little kit, and use those like once a week, twice a week, and let it sit. It usually lasts for like 10 minutes. You let it sit on your lips, and it really helps to hydrate. And one of my other favorite things are lip oils or like lip balms, but they're for nighttime. They're kind of like a cream lip mask. So you're going to put that on your lips overnight and let it sit, and it really helps. Obviously, there's the one by Laneige, the pink one, that's really good. But there's also one I really liked by Corsex. I think that's how you say it, Corsex. It's like the ceramide lip butter sleep mask. I love that one. It comes in a little pink jar. That one is so good. Any lip mask that has ceramides is amazing for you. And especially if you're suffering from dry lips, that is going to save you. So please use one of those. But it happens, dry lips. Make sure you're just staying really hydrated. Try not to lick your lips. I know that's the first reaction when you have dry lips, is you just want to keep licking them, but don't, because obviously your saliva actually dries it out even more. So that is just doing the complete opposite of what you want. My discharge has been smelling a lot lately. It doesn't smell bad, but it smells very strong. And I haven't even been on my period or going to Pound Town. I don't know what I'm doing that's making it smell, but I want it to smell nice naturally. Okay. This happens. A few things that could be happening is a hormone fluctuation. Like if you're going through puberty or if you're on birth control, your hormones fluctuating changes your smell, and it sucks because there's not much you can do about that. But there are a few remedies that help to bounce it out. First thing is the tight underwear. Anything that's super tight and lacy, that's rubbing all day, is actually not the best. We want to have cotton, flowy underwear. Let your kitty cat breathe. Sleep without any undies on. Walk around in your robe without any undies. Let your cat breathe. It will help so much. Stay hydrated, okay? Dehydration usually is really a bad thing because it's going to dry out your whole body, but it also can cause smelly, stinky disco kitty down there. As you guys know, I love to say she's got a little disco kitty. A little bit of smell down there. I don't like when people are like, oh, it's fishy. The fish mart is open. No, it's just a little disco kitty. Your cat's been dancing. She's been sweating. It happens. And speaking of sweat, another thing that actually causes really smelly discharge and things like that is when you're just sweating. It's one of the glands. It's called like apocrine or apocrine. I don't know how to say it. I'm not a doctor, but you have a sweat gland that is released when you're nervous, when you're anxious. And you'll notice that when you get anxious or nervous, you start to sweat in your armpits. Well, you don't just sweat in your armpits. When you're anxious, you actually also start to sweat around the crotch area in your kitty cat. Yep. That sweat gland opens up and starts to get smelly, and then it also interacts with the bacteria in your kitty cat, which makes you start to smell bad. So if you are somebody that gets anxious and nervous and you notice you start getting the stress sweat, that could also lead to smelliness down there. So it's important to shower routinely, use baby wipes to wipe away any of that sweat down there. They have little cute feminine wipes that you can keep in your purse. And if you notice you're a little extra sweaty that day, it's hot outside, or you're nervous, you had an important meeting or school thing and now you're stressed and sweating in your pits. If you're sweating up here, you're sweating down there. So give a little baby wipe, give a little wipe on the outer lips, and you'll be good to go. But to fix it, like actually fixing your diet is one of the most important things. Ladies, the secret to good smelling kitty cat, if you want it to smell like roses and freaking vanilla scented candles, eat more fermented foods. Kimchi, yogurts, kefir, probiotics are so good for you. And as well, it's really random, but garlic. I know you think like garlic is going to be the complete opposite and it's going to make your kitty smell worse. Like, garlic makes your breath smell bad. But no, it actually makes your kitty cat, it's so good for it because it's an antimicrobial or whatever they call it, but it's really good for your kitty cat. So add more garlic into your everyday food. Just add it into your pasta, your toast, whatever you can add. Like there's garlic butter. There are so many different ways you can incorporate garlic into your food, but it's really good for making your kitty cat smell good and really easy. Last thing is citrus. Citrus is so good for balancing out your smell down there. Oranges, tangerines, lemons, limes, so many good juices, and you can add it to so many of your waters and food that it can really help to make your kitty cat smell good. Citrus is really good for your kitty cat, so eat more fermented foods, add more citrus, add more garlic. This can all help with your kitty cat. And the last thing that you can add into your diet is prebiotics and probiotics. I take them every single day. I use ones by the brand Euro, O positive. They have some really good ones I take every day that really help with making sure you're having enough probiotics in your meals. It's made for your kitty cat. There's also the other brand Lemmy, the Lemmy Purr ones, those little gummies you can take every day that have probiotics and prebiotics made for your kitty cat, so it can help with the smell down there. But a good diet, taking your vitamins is all really important for keeping it fresh down there. Woof! What an amazing episode, guys. I hope next week you have an amazing holiday if you do and you are in America and you're having a Thanksgiving. I hope you get your turkey stuffed. Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, please go get your turkey stuffed. Go gobble some this weekend. If not, I will see you guys next Sunday for another episode of Girlcore.